the fall activities. Okay, so I know I uploaded my video yesterday, pretty much kind of not wanting to do any of this really, but this is not that hard at the very end of the day, okay? I promise you guys. It's just gonna be extremely time consuming. That's about it. So we get our rewards in 24 hours. This works in intervals of 24 hours. You can fill this up as much as you want, so long as the timer doesn't hit the rewards section. Just kind of get ready to actually use a plot that you don't really care about all that much. Now, I did make the mistake of actually using my actual garden that I am going to be using for this event, and this causes a lot of turnips being planted, okay? I have a lot of turnips, a lot of pumpkins, a lot of parsley over there. But hey, I mean, if you want to have both of best worlds over here doing the event at the same time, like the fall bloom progress thing and the fall activities, do it. So we're going to go ahead and start doing this. Like I said, I promise this is easy. It's just going to be extremely time consuming for anybody that wants to do this. So what I end up doing is I skip the chipmunk, I skip the maple leaf charm. You can do the soup thing. I unfortunately don't have any soup on me, so we are going to have to actually do this. Hey, remember when I told you guys about the space? Yeah, that's probably why I don't have any space for anything. What's nice about this is you can actually just put anything inside of it and it'll make a soup. All right, boom, soup is cooking. All right, let's just go ahead and do the other stuff. All right, so notice how I'm kind of stuck on like feeding the soup for like 10 minutes. This is where I can go ahead and use a maple leaf charm. I don't really tend to use these all that much unless I have to. That way I can go ahead and refresh this whole thing here. So now I have to plant one Meyer seed. Do I want to do that though? Oh, my tiny lemon lion. I didn't even see that. I thought it was my seed. All right, I'm gonna have to put this somewhere where I cannot see it. We'll put it over there. And you know what's funny too? When I actually do any of the activities, I actually leave this open while I'm doing all of the stuff. Okay, so this is where I actually get stuck now. I don't want to do the chipmunk. I don't want to do the soup right now. And I do not have any apples, so I'll go ahead and refresh it. So I can harvest 20 corns, harvest 1 pumpkin. I can use another maple leaf charm, or I could just do the pumpkin. Harvest 10 parsleys. So we'll go ahead and do that. I absolutely love the parsleys too because they are so fast to grow back. All right, so now that we've done that already, so now you guys have the option of placing a bonfire down, the maple leaf charm, or the corn. You can refresh this as much as you want, but be warned though, the more that you end up refreshing it, the more expensive it will actually get. And trust me, it gets really expensive really fast. So try not to do it out of laziness. Just try to do it if there's something that you physically don't feel like doing, such as like the apple tree or a corn or the chipmunk thing. It's gonna have you do a lot of stuff, by the way. All the way from growing things to starting a fall bloom, using a maple sprinkler, stuff like that. I usually like to tend to skip things that I'm going to utilize later, such as the sprinklers, because I don't really want to waste anything that's really good to me right now. Here comes the overwhelming part that I kind of mentioned yesterday. So you have 3 things technically you could do during this event. You have the fall bloom section, you have the fall activities, but there's something else as well. In your garden guide, there is also a achievement section, and in the mini achievements, there's also the fall event achievements. If you want any of the rewards from this, you do have to complete it out. What I ended up doing, and I would highly suggest, is if you have like an alt account or a friend that you obviously trust, parents, if you want to go ahead and use your kids for this, vice versa, kids, if you want to go and tell your mom or your dad, hey, can I give you my squirrel and you just give it back to me? It'll account for the pets. So you can gift it back and forth and it'll still count it. So now for me, I just have to hatch 15 fall eggs, 30 fall eggs, plant certain seeds, and then I'm pretty much done, and I can just go ahead and get what's on the reward section here, which again will help you out a ton if you're trying to get any of these brand new seeds. Because this seems to be a way every 5 minutes to, 1, buy the seeds from Elijah over here, 2, wait every 24 hours to get it through the full activities, and again from this one little section here, they're going to be a little difficult to get. Not everybody's gonna have 5 minutes, 2 hours to go ahead and like dedicate to the full activities, and pretty much all week to dedicate to doing the mini achievements right over here. So try to do as many as you can because this is going to again be super time consuming. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and look at the soup. It's already been like 6 minutes, so we'll still wait for that. And this is like the perfect time fine to go ahead and just ignore the fall activities and just focus on harvesting a ton of things to go ahead and submit to the fall bloom tree. I guess splitting in your time is going to be really important for this too. So now we're going to go ahead and get our harvest tool, go back to the garden, start harvesting our mangoes for this. And I noticed this happens like every 30 minutes too. Like you'll have a different required fruit or a crop per se, like for every single thing here. So you have like 30 minutes to go ahead and do this, meaning that you have like 6 tries to go ahead and submit mangoes or something, whatever is woody to you. So, all right, we started our fall bloom. You know, it's crazy too. Out of the 113 fall blooms that I've done so far, I have not gotten a organic maple resin. It kind of begs the question, how long did it take you guys to actually get this? All right, so we completed that out and we don't have anything here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wait out the 4 minutes for the next transition to the next task. Okay, so our soup is done. Technically, you can use gorillas to go ahead and actually get duplicates of the soups that you want to go ahead and create. That way you don't have to like constantly recreate them. You might have a chance of getting double. So while we're here, we're gonna go ahead and actually put another one in just in case we need another one, and I need to find a pet to go ahead and feed this to. Actually, I could just do it right here. There you go. Now let's go ahead and go back to the full activities real quick. Open this little guy up and leave it on the screen. So now I just need maple syrup. And I know this is so weird because like I literally play all of this with the screen in front of me, and I just have to find the pet that I want to go ahead and feed this to. So there we go. So next I can go ahead and place a godly sprinkler, another Meyer lemon seed, which I'm not going to do because that's a lot of seeds that's going to be randomly placed around my garden, which I'm not a huge fan of because it's already super duper crazy. I, however, will be placing this where it would make sense, which will be the mangoes. Fall pack seed. And actually, I could put that right there just in case. So we could go ahead and see what we get out of this. Oh, cool. I don't know what that is, but I got it. Harvest 10 parsley. All right, there we go. All 10. Trigger another fall bloom. So we're going to go ahead and go back. And he still wants woody plants, which is really nice. All right, so I still need to go ahead and get some more. And luckily, I have a lot of these dusk mushrooms that I can go ahead and use. And I know it's a little weird for me to like actually do the video with this thing in front of me, but if you know your garden enough and where things are placed, it's not going to bother you all that much. It just helps out when it comes to like pretty much getting a progressional, let's get it over with type of deal going on. All right, so now we can go ahead and trigger a fall bloom. Okay, so the only time that menu is ever going to close is once you start the actual fall event, and you have to inevitably close it out because it forces to close it out. Now, the only reason why I don't tend to use the maple leaf charms super duper often is because this doesn't oftenly update inside of the restock. So if I get stuck anywhere and I notice that I don't have many of them, I'm just going to automatically skip them. All right, since that is done, now we can go ahead and reopen this and see what we have to do next. So place 2 advanced sprinklers, and I think I'm going to go ahead and place those where I might have harvested most of the recent things, which were my sugar apples and my mangoes. Again, place any of these that you just recently harvested in. Now we could do basic, and actually, you know what I like to do too is I like to put all the sprinklers, anything that the game recently requires, which are a ton of sprinklers, advanced, basic, and it will ask for a godly. I will use watering cans to kind of like put over here where the parsleys are at. It'll ask you to harvest 10, but at the same time, if it asks for vegetables such as the fall bloom thing, I will literally sit here and farm this. I will put the seed packs here and anything else that I think the game might want to have me open up pretty much. So now we could go ahead and put down basic sprinklers. This can just go wherever. No one wants me to trigger another fall bloom, so we're going to go ahead and go back over here, and I think it's still woody. However, I think that might go ahead and change once this little progressional thing is done. What's really cool about this, and it's completely up to you whether or not you want to go ahead and do this continuously over and over again, is even though if you make it to the 2 prismatic rewards section here, you can go above that. Though the pictures that I have seen, I've seen people go to at least 1,300, 1,300 fall energy to get 3. Now, obviously, the more that you put into this, the more rewards you might get out of this. Though I feel like maybe perhaps that's going to be a little too kind of too time consuming for me personally. But if that's something you want to go ahead and do, absolutely go ahead and do it. The more that you end up putting inside of this, the more chances that you have to either get a maple resin, fall eggs, fall pack seeds, acorn lollipops, all of these things inside of here. Personally, for me, the Grandmaster Sprinkler is always a huge bonus for me, so if I end up getting that, that's fine. Though I feel like maybe perhaps the seed packs are probably the one thing that I'm going to probably go after. Now, I know at the very beginning of the first round of rewards given out yesterday, nobody nobody was able to tell whether or not they got the rewards or not. And to be quite honest, I'm not entirely sure if I even noticed what I got at the very end. And if you have to actually be inside of the game to get those rewards. So in the next 7 hours, I'm gonna have to come back over here and kind of pay attention to see what I get from this. If you do end up getting anything, it's probably that little text that pops up right above you and it just says, hey, you just got this and this. And it's very brief. I know it's gonna be super hard to keep track of what you end up getting out of this. And I know it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, what did I get? I have like 66 eggs. Did I get, eggs out of this? Did I get the fall seed packs out of this? I can't tell. So it's gonna be one of those things where you guys have to physically pay attention to it. And if you are not able to pay attention to it, then it's gonna be a little hard to kind of pinpoint what you get unless you get something entirely different from this reward section only, such as the watering can and the rainbow fertilizer, because everything else we can technically get inside of the game. So it's just gonna be one of those what did I get moments. So hopefully this gives you guys a bit of a better understanding on how you could just pretty much do this infinitely. Just have this thing opened up while you're actually doing everything, as much as it may be annoying. I've only gotten up to 530 with the 409 million at my maximum right now. So if I want to continuously keep going, I'm not really stuck all that much. Whether you choose to go ahead and try to get more than 2 rewards, that's completely up to you. But hopefully you end up getting really good rewards, and let me know if the rewards that you get are worth the time that you put into this. The one thing that I do have to say though, for the plant section here, for the crop mastery, luckily because I have been doing a lot of parsley stuff, like growing them, cropping them, harvesting them, selling them, I was able to get to level 2 on my mastery for this one here. Now the multiplier is very minimal, so keep that in mind when you are doing this. So this means every single time that you do something with a specific plant, you're gonna have to continuously do this over and over and over again for any type of drastic change in any of this. This might be a little time consuming as well if you have a prismatic or a transcendent seed, because those do take a while to grow out. So when you do have this, make sure you have your triceratops, your mooncats, stuff like that to go ahead and assist you when the time is right for you. And obviously if you're brand new, hi, I do grow a garden content. Make sure you guys like the video, as it does help me come out with more content like this for you guys, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Okay, bye!